I kissed my best friend 2 hours ago, and now I'm locked in my bedroom while he pounds on the door begging me to talk to him. My hands won't stop shaking. 22 years of friendship, 7 years of living together, and I just destroyed everything in 5 seconds. The look on Jake's face when I pulled away, when I saw the panic in his eyes, it's burned into my brain. He thinks I regret it. He thinks I'm disgusted. But that's not why I ran. I'm scared because I don't regret it at all. We were on the couch doing what we do every Monday night, watching terrible reality TV and eating takeout Chinese food straight from the containers. Jake was making his usual commentary, the kind that always makes me laugh until my sides hurt. His shoulder was pressed against mine because that's how we always sit, close enough that our body heat mingles, comfortable in a way I've never been with anyone else. Then he said something about the contestant's horrible spray tan, and I turned to laugh at him, and our faces were so close. His eyes dropped to my lips for just a second, just 1 second, but it was enough. I kissed him. I actually kissed him. It wasn't soft or tentative. It was desperate, like I'd been holding my breath for years and finally came up for air. His hand cupped the back of my neck, fingers threading through my hair, and he kissed me back like he'd been waiting for this moment his entire life. Everything felt right in a way nothing ever has before. My whole body was on fire. Then reality crashed in. I pushed him away so hard he nearly fell off the couch. The confusion on his face turned to hurt, then to something worse, something pleading. I ran to my room before he could say a word. That was 2 hours ago. He knocked for the first 30 minutes. Gentle at first, then more insistent. He kept saying my name, asking me to please just talk to him, telling me it was okay, that we could pretend it never happened if that's what I wanted. His voice cracked on that last part. But I can't pretend. That's the problem. The knocking finally stopped 20 minutes ago. Now the apartment is silent, except for the sound of my heart hammering in my chest. I'm sitting on my bed, hugging my knees, trying to figure out how everything changed so fast. Except it didn't change fast. It's been changing for years, and I was too stupid or too scared to see it. My phone buzzes. A text from Jake. Please, Melissa, just tell me what I did wrong. He thinks he did something wrong. God, he has no idea. He has no idea that I've been lying to him for the last 3 years, that I've been lying to myself for even longer. I hear his bedroom door close. The soft click echoes through the apartment like a gunshot. That's when I know I have to make a choice. I can stay in here, let this moment pass, and tomorrow we can do what he suggested, pretend it never happened, go back to being best friends who live together and do everything together and never, ever cross that line again. Or I can walk out there and tell him the truth that I'm in love with him. That I have been for years. That every woman he's ever dated has made me irrationally jealous. That I sabotaged his last relationship because I couldn't stand watching him fall in love with someone else. That I moved in with him not to save money, but because the thought of living apart from him made me physically ill. That I'm terrified because loving him means risking losing him, and he's the only person in my life I can't lose. My phone buzzes again. Another text. I'm sorry. Those 2 words break something inside me. He's apologizing. For what? For kissing me back? For making me feel something real for the first time in my life? I stand up. My legs feel like jelly, but I force them to move. I walk to my door and put my hand on the knob. This is it. This is the moment where everything either falls apart or finally makes sense. I open the door. The living room is dark, except for the TV still flickering with our show. The Chinese food containers are scattered on the coffee table, abandoned mid-meal. Everything looks normal, like the world didn't just tilt on its axis. Jake's bedroom door is closed. There's no light coming from underneath. I walk across the living room, my bare feet silent on the hardwood floor. Each step feels monumental. When I reach his door, I press my palm against it, feeling the solid wood under my skin. Jake, I say softly. Nothing. Jake, I need to talk to you. I hear movement inside, footsteps. The door opens so fast, I almost stumble backward. He's standing there in his faded college t-shirt and sweatpants, his brown hair messy like he's been running his hands through it. His eyes are red. Jake's eyes are red, and that's when I realize he's been crying. Jake never cries. "I'm sorry," he says again, his voice rough. "I shouldn't have kissed you back. I know you didn't mean it. I know you were just caught up in the moment or something, and I took advantage, and I'm so sorry, Melissa. I never wanted to make you uncomfortable. I'm in love with you," I blurt out. He stops mid-sentence, his mouth still open. We stand there frozen, staring at each other. I can hear the TV in the background, some contestants screaming about a twist elimination. It's absurd and perfect and terrifying. "What?" he whispers. "I'm in love with you," I repeat, and this time my voice is stronger. "I've been in love with you for years, and I'm sorry I ran away, but I got scared because this is real, Jake. This isn't just some random kiss. This is everything changing, and I don't know how to handle that." He's still staring at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. "Say something," I beg. He steps forward, closing the distance between us in one stride, and kisses me again. This time it's softer, sweeter, but somehow even more intense. His hands cut my face like I'm something precious, something he's afraid of breaking. I grab his shirt, pulling him closer, trying to prove to him that I'm not going to run away again. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. "I've been in love with you since we were 16, he says, his forehead pressed against mine. "I just never thought you'd feel the same way." 16? I ask, shocked. "Jake, that's 16 years. "I know." "Why didn't you ever say anything?" He pulls back just enough to look me in the eyes. "Because you're my best friend, Melissa. You're the most important person in my life. I couldn't risk losing you. So I convinced myself that having you as my friend was enough." "Was it?" I ask. "Enough?" "No," he admits. "It never was." I kiss him again, because I don't know what else to do. His arms wrap around my waist, pulling me flush against him, and I feel like I'm finally home after being lost for years. We end up back on the couch, tangled together, the TV still playing in the background. His fingers trace patterns on my arm while my head rests on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. "What do we do now?" I ask. "What do you mean?" "I mean, how do we do this? We live together. We work in the same building. Everyone we know thinks we're just friends. How do we tell people? What if this doesn't work out? What if we break up and then everything is ruined?" Jake is quiet for a moment, and I can feel the tension creeping back into my shoulders. Then he says, "Do you remember that road trip we took to California 3 years ago?" "Of course." "Of course. We stopped at that diner in the middle of nowhere, the one with the amazing pie. And that old lady came up to our table and said we were the sweetest couple she'd ever seen." I remember. We'd both laughed and corrected her, said we were just friends. She'd given us this knowing look and walked away shaking her head. "She knew," Jake says. "Everyone knows except us. My mom has been asking me when I'm going to marry you since we moved in together. Your sister cornered me at Christmas last year and told me I was an idiot for not seeing what was right in front of me. Our friends bet on when we'd finally get together." "What?" I sit up, staring at him. "They bet on us?" "Marcus won $200 last month when we went to that concert together, and you fell asleep on my shoulder." I don't know whether to laugh or be offended. People have been betting on our relationship? Melissa, we've been in a relationship for years. We just weren't having sex. He reaches up and tucks a strand of hair behind my ear. "We do everything together. We talk every day. We live together. You're the first person I want to tell when something good happens. You're the person I want next to me when things fall apart. That's not friendship. I mean, it is friendship, but it's more than that. It's always been more." He's right. God, he's so right. I think about all the times guys I dated got frustrated because I was always with Jake. The time my ex-boyfriend, Marcus, ironically, told me I had to choose between him and Jake because he couldn't compete with someone I was clearly in love with. I'd chosen Jake without hesitation and convinced myself it was just because he was my best friend. I sabotaged your relationship with Emma, I confess suddenly. Jake's eyebrows raise. What? Last year, when you were dating Emma, I told her that you had commitment issues and that every girlfriend you'd ever had left because you wouldn't prioritize them over me. It wasn't true, but I said it anyway because I couldn't stand watching you with her. Melissa? I'm not proud of it, I continue quickly. I felt terrible afterward, but not terrible enough to take it back. And when she broke up with you, I was relieved. I was actually relieved that you were heartbroken because it meant you were available again, even though we weren't together. How messed up is that? Jake is looking at me with an expression I can't quite read. Then, to my surprise, he starts laughing. Why are you laughing? I demand. I just told you I sabotaged your relationship. Because I did the same thing to you with David. What? That guy you dated 2 years ago, the lawyer? I told him that you were still hung up on your ex and that he was just a rebound. He dumped you the next day. I remember David. I'd liked him, or at least I'd liked the idea of him. When he broke up with me, I'd been confused more than hurt. Then I'd gone home, and Jake had ordered my favorite pizza and put on my favorite movie, and by the end of the night, I'd forgotten all about David. We're both terrible people, I say. Yeah, Jake agrees. We really are. We look at each other and burst out laughing. It's the kind of laughter that comes from relief, from tension breaking, from the absurdity of spending 16 years dancing around each other when we could have been together the whole time. When the laughter fades, Jake pulls me back, down against his chest. To answer your question, he says, about what we do now, we do exactly what we've been doing. We just add the parts we've been missing. Sex, I say bluntly. I was going to say physical intimacy, but sure, let's go with sex. I prop myself up on my elbow to look at him. Are you scared? Terrified, he admits, but I'm more scared of not trying, of spending the rest of my life wondering what if. What if it doesn't work? I whisper. What if we're better as friends? Melissa, we've been more than friends for years. We just weren't admitting it. And yeah, maybe it won't work. Maybe we'll crash and burn spectacularly. But at least we'll know. At least we'll have tried. He's right. Again. I hate when he's right. Okay, I say. Okay? Okay, let's do this. Let's be together for real. The smile that spreads across his face is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. He pulls me down and kisses me again, slow and deep, and I feel it in every cell of my body. We stay on the couch for hours, talking and kissing and planning. We decide not to make a big announcement. We'll just let people figure it out naturally. We agree to take things slow, even though we've technically been building up to this for 16 years. We promise to be honest with each other, no matter how scary the truth is. By the time we finally move to his bedroom, it's past midnight. We lie in his bed, my back pressed against his chest, his arm wrapped around my waist. This position should feel new and strange, but it doesn't. It feels like coming home. Hey, Melissa, Jake murmurs against my hair. Yeah? I love you. I'm in love with you, and I'm so glad you kissed me. I turn in his arms to face him. I love you too, and I'm sorry I ran away. You came back, he says simply. That's all that matters. I kiss him one more time, soft and sweet, and then settle back against him. Tomorrow, we'll figure out the logistics. Tomorrow, we'll navigate what it means to be a couple after being best friends for over 2 decades. Tomorrow, there will be questions and adjustments and probably some awkward moments. But tonight, right now, everything is perfect. I close my eyes and let myself feel happy. Let myself feel hopeful. Let myself believe that sometimes the person you've been looking for has been right there beside you all along. Jake's breathing evens out, and I know he's fallen asleep. I should sleep too, but I'm too wired, too full of emotion. I think about all the years we wasted, all the time we could have been together. But then I think about how we got here, how our friendship formed the foundation for something stronger. Maybe we needed those years. Maybe we needed to be friends first, to really know each other, to build the trust that will carry us through whatever comes next. Maybe everything happened exactly when it was supposed to. I finally drift off to sleep with a smile on my face, wrapped in the arms of the man I've loved for longer than I knew, who's loved me just as long. My best friend, my roommate, and now, finally, my boyfriend. The word feels inadequate for what he is to me, but it's a start. When I wake up the next morning, sunlight is streaming through the window, and Jake is already awake, propped up on his elbow, watching me with soft eyes. "Morning," he says. "Morning. So last night wasn't a dream?" "Nope," I confirm. "Still real." He grins and kisses my forehead. "Good. I'm going to make us breakfast. Pancakes?" Pancakes sound perfect. He climbs out of bed, and I watch him go, admiring the view. When he reaches the door, he turns back. "By the way," he says casually, "I'm going to kiss you every single day for the rest of our lives." That's quite a commitment. Good thing I'm good at those. He leaves, and I hear him moving around in the kitchen, humming to himself. I stretch in his bed, feeling happier than I can remember being in years, maybe ever. My phone buzzes on the nightstand, a text from my sister. "Finally! Marcus just texted me. He said, 'Jake was practically skipping through the lobby this morning. Tell me everything.' Laugh and type back, 'Took us long enough.'" Her response is immediate. "I've been waiting for this since college. You, too, are idiots. Adorable idiots. So happy for you." I set my phone down and climb out of bed, pulling on Jake's discarded t-shirt from last night. It falls to mid-thigh and smells like him. I pad out to the kitchen where he's flicking pancakes, still humming. He looks up when I enter and freezes, spatula in hand. His eyes darken as he takes in the sight of me in his shirt. "That's not fair," he says. "What's not fair?" "You, looking like that. I'm trying to cook here." I walk over and wrap my arms around him from behind, pressing my cheek against his back. Sorry, not sorry. He turns off the stove and spins around, pulling me into a deep kiss that makes my toes curl. When we break apart, we're both grinning like idiots. "Pancakes are gonna burn," I point out. "Don't care." We end up eating slightly burnt pancakes at the kitchen counter, our knees touching, stealing kisses between bites. It's perfectly imperfect, exactly like us. This is it. This is what I've been missing. Not just the kissing and the physical intimacy, but this feeling of rightness, of being exactly where I'm supposed to be with exactly who I'm supposed to be with. I look at Jake, syrup on his chin, laughing at something stupid I said, and I know with absolute certainty that this is going to work. It has to work. Because he's not just my boyfriend. He's my best friend, my roommate, my person. He's been all of those things for years. Now he's finally, officially, completely mine. And I'm his. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should they have confessed their feelings sooner, or did the friendship need to come first?